Exponents. So an exponent basically means you multiply the base by itself that many times. So you have 4 to the third power, you multiply 4 times 4 times 4, which will equal 64. A root is the reverse of an exponent. So if you take the cubed root of 64, you would get 4, because you are reversing the exponent. If you take the fourth root of 16, you are looking for a number multiplied by itself 4 times. That would equal 16, which is 2. So 2 to the fourth power equals 16, and the fourth root of 16 equals 2. Next, some exponent rules. If you multiply two exponents of the same base, you add the exponents. Such as if you have x to the fourth multiplied by x to the third, you would get x to the seventh power, because you multiply the exponents. If you raise an exponent to another exponent, you multiply the two exponents. So you have x to the fourth raised to the third power, you would get x to the 12th. If you divide two exponents, you subtract the exponents. So x to the fourth divided by x to the third would equal x to the first power. To convert a radical to a fractional exponent, use this formula. So if you have the seventh root of x to the 9, you would get x to the 9 over 7. And if you take the cubed root of x to the fifth, you would get x to the 5 over 3. Here's how you evaluate a fractional exponent. You break it apart. So x to the 5 over 3rd, you would break it into 8 to the 1/3 raised to the 5th power. So 8 to the 1/3 would be the cubed root of 8, which is 2, and 2 raised to the 5th power is 32. If you like to break that apart, we do 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, would be 4 times 4 times 2, which is 32. Now, let's do another example. This one a little more complicated. 81 raised to the 5/4 power. So to break this one apart, do 81 to the 1/4 power, or the fourth root of 81, raised to the 5th power. So the fourth root of 81 is equal to 3. 3 raised to the 5th power, well, let's see. It would be 3 times 3 times 3, you get the point. So it would be 9 times 9, which is 81, times 3. So 3 times 8, 3 times 80 is 240, 3 times 1 is 3, you get 243. If you have an expression like this, where you have a variable to a fractional exponent equal to a constant, then to evaluate the variable, you would raise both sides to the inverse of the fractional exponent. So let's look at an example. X to the 2 over 3 equals 16. So we would raise both sides to x to the 3 over 2. And so we would get x to the first power, because we would multiply 2 over 3 times 3 over 2, which would equal 1. And then we would get 16 to the 3 over 2. If we break that out, we get 16 to the 1/2 raised to the third power. 16 to the 1/2 is the square root of 16, which is 4. 4 raised to the third power is 64. If you square the square root of a number, it's just equal to that number, because a exponent is reverse of a root, so it just reverse the operation. So the square root of 5 squared is just equal to 5. This also works for cube roots and all other roots. So the cubed root of 2 raised to the third power is just going to be equal to 2.